Hey Reddit, what's the worst April Fool's joke you've seen? Before we start with the first story, please hit a subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Story 1. I saw one where these two guys pretended that they had won the lottery and the mum was sobbing of joy, and then they told her it was an April Fool's joke and she looked devastated. It might not be the most damaging joke, but damn, that hurt my heart. Story 2. My older sister poured water over all the clothes in my drawers before I woke up for school. My mom was pissed and my sister got grounded for a month because I didn't have anything dry to wear to school. Story 3. In high school, we had a kid from another country who was very excited about his first April Fool's Day. He came to class with a big smile and told us about the prank he pulled on his mom that morning. Before he left for school, he told her, "Mom, I got my girlfriend pregnant." She cried and cried. We were all giddy and asked him, "So what did she do when you said April Fools?" His eyes got big and he said, "Wait, what? I didn't tell her April Fools." He didn't know that you were supposed to tell them that it was a prank. He left his poor mom freaking out all day. Story 4. When my wife and I were dating and newly moved in together, her mom texted her telling her to pack her things and saying her husband was going to kick my ass, and didn't give any explanation as to why. She starts to panic and is demanding answers from me, and I'm completely caught off guard and about to call the police. Then, after 20-30 minutes with absolute radio silence from her mom, she texted back, "April Fools." Worst part was her mom got incredibly angry at us for not finding any of it funny. Made me realize just how f***ed up my wife's childhood must have been. Story 5. 10 years ago, my sister-in-law and my kids decided it would be a great prank to rearrange all the stuff in our kitchen cabinets. Everything was still orderly, but was in totally different cabinets than we had grown used to, and in many cases, ones that didn't make any sense. We still have no idea where anything is supposed to go, and many things are still where they put them in their escapade. That prank has a very long tail. Story 6. My grandma had just died. The ashes were split between her 3 daughters, and they arrived for my mom on April 1st. I'm visiting her during lockdowns and working from home. She comes over, her face completely shocked, and says, "They sent us the wrong ashes." I go from calm to almost at seeing red in about half a second. I'm like, they had one job. How the hell do you send a family the wrong ashes? Let me see the shipping receipt. I'm ready to start raising hell with the funeral home when she hands me the paperwork. It has my grandma's name right across the top. I look up super confused, and she calmly says April Fools. And that, folks, is a once-in-a-lifetime joke. Story 7. Some guy thought it would be hilarious to fake his suicide by pretending to hang himself. So when his mom walked in, she thought he had killed himself. Then he's like April Fools, and they both laughed. Even staged. That is the worst, most unfunny, most disrespectful idea I've ever heard for a prank. Story 8. When I was 16, I mailed my brother a letter pretending to be a woman he'd hooked up with a few years before and asking if he'd like to meet their daughter. He didn't even finish reading the letter before he walked over and punched me really hard in the thigh. I guess my 16-year-old chicken scratch didn't look much like lady handwriting. Story 9. Sugar-free gummy bears dissolved into certain cocktails and mocktails. Then, they were served at my best friend's former frat's April Fool's party. To this day, no one is certain who did it, but the 15 guys in the frat and a decent portion of the party goers had diarrhea and hangovers. 15 guys in a 3-bathroom frat, with explosive diarrhea and hangovers. I am glad I don't like parties. Story 10. Guy called into a radio show and had the DJs call his wife to tell him he was fired from his job for sleeping with his receptionist. Wife got mad and said, "Now I don't feel bad for sleeping with his brother." You can find the clip online. Happened about 20 years ago. It was live and very awkward. Story 11. Not a joke, but the reason I don't entertain anything on this day. Few years back, I was working on some paperwork in my office at my family's business. I was still working as shift change happened. For reference, one of our employees, oft referred to as Dammit Dave, walked to work and would change shoes in the bathroom upon arrival. Said bathroom shared a wall with the office. Moments after D&D arrived at work and entered the bathroom, We were deafened by the sound of a single gunshot. Everyone rushed into the office except for D&D. He was still in the bathroom. He was known for carrying a weapon at all times, despite being told not to, and we knew it was his weapon. I didn't call 911 or attempt to break into the bathroom. I slowly got up from the desk to enter the adjacent room, while explicitly stating nothing was going to happen until either D&D exited the bathroom under his own power, or blood ran under the door. Fortunately, it was the former. DD flails out of the bathroom hollering, "Am I hit? Am I hit? I don't know. Genius. I planned my bathroom trips solo." Already long story short, I verified D&D hadn't injured himself. He hadn't, and terminated his employment in short order. Turns out he was playing with a weapon on the toilet. We never found the round, but the trash can by the sink was shredded, and he was the one thinking I was joking when I told him to GTFO before I came to my senses and filed a police report. Story 12. In middle school, my best friends called me in tears, telling me that an older 8th grader we knew raped both of them with his friends while they were at the store. I was already under the impression that this guy was bad news, so I was horrified that my gut was right. My friends were crying, saying, "What if she had gotten pregnant?" And I started to cry for real because I didn't know what to do, sobbing that maybe we should call the police or tell her mom. We were only 12/13, so obviously I wasn't sure what to do. Then they stopped crying and started laughing. "Caught you!" They laughed. Then I realized what day it was and hung up the phone. I was no longer crying in fear, but out of embarrassment. They texted me moments later saying, "Sorry, it was just a joke or whatever." I was not amused and bluntly told them that was fucked up and not funny at all. At the time, we were honestly a toxic friend group, so it's no surprise we still stayed friends until we parted ways in high school. We were all 12/13, so what we thought was funny was often the opposite. It was a crazy time, but we all grew up better people. Story 13. A few years ago, a friend of mine was on a family holiday in the Lake District. While at the holiday camp bar one night, my friend's sister-in-law entered a competition to win a new car. My friend took the piss as nobody ever wins these things, etc. Fast forward a few months to April Fools. My mate gets his pal to call up his sister-in-law and tell her she's won the car. He had taken the name of the competition organizers and did such a convincing job that the sister-in-law was over the moon. Told her the car would be delivered next week. My mate was laughing his arse off at how silly she was and was looking forward to seeing her waiting for a car that was never showing up. Later that day, my friend's wife calls him unaware of the prank and tells him how lucky her sister was after all. He tells his wife about the prank. She was not impressed, but he convinced her to keep quiet for 2 days until their big family meal when he would come clean. Family meal rolls round and they are all at the table. Sister-in-law starts going on about the competition and how she is actually lucky. Not only has she won a car, but has managed to sell her current car to someone. Now she has no car, and my mate has to come clean in front of the whole family that she in fact did not win, and it was all a hoax. It did not go down very well at all. Story 14. There's a very famous court case in Louisiana from the early 1900s that every law student reads. Nickerson v. Hodges, a woman who had a history of being institutionalized for mental illness, went to a fortune teller, who told her that her ancestors had buried gold on neighboring property. She went to the landowner and explained what the fortune teller had told her and asked for permission to dig for the treasure. The landowner and his pal thought it would be a good April Fool's joke to bury a pot full of rocks in the yard and have her find it. They attached a letter to the pot to tell her to wait 3 days to open it and notify all the heirs. While helping her look for the gold, they found the pot and letter. Miss Nickerson decided to follow the instructions and brought the pot, unopened, to a bank and put it in a safety deposit box. The bank teller and manager peeked into the pot and saw it was filled with dirt and rocks, but didn't tell Miss Nickerson. 3 days later, she showed up with friends, family, the supposed heirs, and a judge for a big ceremonial opening of the pot of gold. When she opened it up and saw rocks, everyone laughed at her. She flew into a rage and attacked one of the bank employees with the pot lid. She never really recovered and died 2 years later at the age of 47, a broken woman. It's a very important case in Louisiana that first established a legal claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. After her death, a court awarded her heirs $500. Story 15. A year or two ago, I decided to set up 2 small pranks for my girlfriend the night before April Fools. First, I put a couple of macaroni noodles under the toilet seat, so she'd sit on it and hear a breaking, cracking noise. Second, I put some plastic wrap across her walk-in closet's door, so she'd go to walk into her closet and walk right into the wrap. What I forgot was that she worked very early that day, so she had to get up for work around 3:30 a.m., so she wasn't in the best mood. I woke up that morning and she was already gone for work. I checked the toilet and the noodles were still under the seat, but had been crushed. The plastic wrap was gone from her closet. I got a text from her halfway through the day. She said she had put in a maintenance request to our apartment complex because she thought she had broken the toilet. She said the maintenance guy should be there within an hour or so and asked if I could quickly clean the bathroom before he got there. I thought she was screwing with me, so I called her out. That's when she sent a screenshot of the email from our apartment complex. I was still skeptical. So I called the office and asked if we had a maintenance request. The lady on the phone said she didn't see anything, but if the ticket had already been accepted or the maintenance guy was already on his way, she wouldn't have been able to see it. So I ended up cleaning the entire bathroom, just in case she wasn't messing with me. I didn't want some poor maintenance guy to have to see our gross bathroom. She was messing with me. She spoofed the email, and she ended up getting a spotless bathroom when she got home. All right, folks, that's a wrap. If you like more of this, please hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your thoughts in the comment below. I'll see you in the next video.